Welcome to the Family First Retirement Podcast with George Politaris. For more information on the Petrea Wealth Group or to schedule your complimentary consultation, visit PetreaWealth.com. Now, let's get to the show.
George Politaris, how you doing this weekend?
You know what? Every day I wake up, I'm happy. And I always tell people we always have to be prepared and be in the best mood possible. So we're really good. Yeah, I'm always in a happy mood.
Tell me a little bit about yourself, George, and the Petrea Wealth Group. How did you get started?
About 29 years ago, my wife Leslie and I, we got married in 93, March. In that first year of marriage, we bought our first house, we rescued our first dog, and Leslie gave birth to our oldest son, Alexander. Things could not be going better for us. We were ecstatic. About 6 months after Alexander was born, my father unexpectedly passed away. And it was a shock to us all. Mm-hmm. I'm one of five. My mother was beside herself. And then after everything happened and the funeral, we sat down, the six of us sat down to go over and make sure everything was okay, financially and with Mom. Well, to say that Mom and Dad had a dire situation when it came to their finances is an understatement. Mm-hmm. They were in a terrible position. Mortgage foreclosure, tax liens, no retirement savings, no plan, nothing. Mom was virtually homeless. So what is a family supposed to do? Well, we were raised to stay very close-knit and work as a unit. So the five of us did what every family does, and we took care of Mom for the next 20-plus years financially. She never had another bill. We took care of the liens, the mortgage, everything. She got to keep her Social Security and had a great life until her last days. And it was our job. It's how we were raised as a Greek family. It was our job. But I kind of resented that Leslie, Alex, and eventually Jared might have had everything they needed, but really not everything they wanted.
Was this the father in you coming out?
It was.
Yeah. Absolutely.
First and foremost, I worry about my wife and my boys. Mm-hmm. That's my job. And I think that's the way we were raised in our culture, our generation. So I am making sure that my wife and children are never in that position. But more importantly, I don't want another family to have to go through that. Mm-hmm. You know, Leslie often says, is this going to be us? Is this going to happen to us, George? And the answer is always absolutely not. Because the biggest concern that Alex and Jared are going to have when my time is sent to go home is with their mom, is how to control her from spoiling the grandchildren.
Yeah.
And that's what it's supposed to be about. They're supposed to enjoy themselves.
Right.
And that's what I want for your family. It might be something foolish that you have a concern about, but there are no foolish concerns. We have to make sure that everything's lined up. And I want you to be able to enjoy your family and get forward. So the reason I got involved in doing this business was that bothered me so much that I just couldn't imagine having someone else go through this. Yeah. And I want to make sure that you're not in that position, Mark, and that's why we do this.
Yeah, there's a reason the show is called Family First Radio, because George Politaris, his mission statement is to take that gray out of your retirement, make it black and white, because families take care of each other. Yeah. And there is a Greek term that you're going to hear a lot on this show. As a matter of fact, it's part of the website. And tell me what it means.
Petrea in Greek means family. Family is first and foremost when you come with Petrea Wealth. You know, when you come in our office, you're going to see pictures, obviously, but you're going to see pictures of my sons, my dog, our families. And our family is not just the people that work here. Our customers are not customers, clients. They're not a number. They're part of our family. Mm-hmm. Luckily, we get to go to a lot of graduations, retirement parties, birthday parties, weddings, christenings. And I know you're part of the clan of the family, get to do that. Conversely, unfortunately, there's times we have to go to funerals.
Sure.
And you're sad, but it's a great feeling knowing that they're gone, but their family's okay. Mm-hmm. And you said earlier, like a dad. I guess I'm like the typical dad. I'm worried about making sure everyone's happy and comfortable, and that's what we do.
And you can find the team online at PetreaWealth.com. It's P-A-T-R-I-A, PetreaWealth.com. Put a Google on it. All the information is going to pop up. And I bet you, George, there's nothing more fun than when you get the Evite or the card in the mail to a retirement party.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
It's great. When you see people and they're truly happy, that is the most rewarding thing I think I could do. Uh-huh. And, you know, we travel a large distance. We cover a large area. And it's just great to see them. And the Christmas cards and New Year's cards and holiday cards. pictures of the grandchildren. I love it.
Let's begin that conversation and be part of the family with the team at Petrea Wealth. 302-330-2166. And this weekend, George wants to kick things off and do it right and invite you to be a member of the family with that complimentary portfolio x-ray. George, when we sit down and we call the team at Petrea Wealth and we say, hey man, I heard George on the radio. He was offering a portfolio x-ray. I want to sit down with you. Tell me what we're going to do.
Well, first off, we're right down the road from y'all on Silverside Road at 501 Silverside Road. And when you come in for that first meeting, we're going to have a conversation. We're going to have a cup of coffee. We're going to sit and talk. And I'm going to gather some information, ask you the questions which I think are important, and you're going to tell me what you think is important. Mm-hmm. Because everyone has a different plan on retirement. Would you agree, Mark?
Yeah, 100%.
You know, some people want to sit there and retire, and they want to start traveling the country, seeing their kids. And that's great. Mm-hmm. Other people want to start playing golf every day or sailing or doing those things they wanted to do their whole life, but were just too darn busy working, playing for today.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to ask and see what your goals are, what your objectives are, what your desires are. And then we're going to take some notes, gather some financials from you, obviously. We're going to go over your 401ks, your TSPs, your 403bs. And more importantly, I think, we're going to go over those expenses you have. Because so many people pick a day that they're going to retire, and it's going to be June 30th, and that's the end of the conversation. And that's great. But just because we retire does not mean we stop living.
Yeah.
So by gathering all that information, especially the expenses, because you don't realize how much you spend on certain things. And some of the expenses you have today, folks, you're not going to have tomorrow. And maybe conversely. You know, maybe we're going to have the house paid off next year. But then we want to have a new car every 5 years. And that's great. But let's plan for it. You know, it's really funny, Mark, and maybe you know this already, but about 95% of people do not have a written retirement plan in place 5 years prior to retirement.
Everybody has that mental idea of what they want to do.
Yeah. And the problem, I think, with that is you have it in your head that it's going to retire, but you don't know what the black and white of it is. And we sit down with you, you will get your complimentary retirement guard, where we sit there and the plan's written out in black and white, where you are today, how it looks like tomorrow, and where we're going to be in the future.
The team at Petrea Wealth invites you to be part of the family, and that's why this weekend, George Politaris wants to sit down with you and offer that complimentary portfolio x-ray. If you're in that retirement red zone about 5 years out and you have an idea, but you need to put it on paper, it's a complimentary portfolio x-ray at no cost, no obligation to you when you call 302-330-2166. We have a representative standing by right now to talk to you and get you on the schedule at the Petrea Wealth Group, 302-330-2166. And George, on that initial consultation, about how much time should we plan on hanging out?
I always plan for about an hour and 15 minutes for the first meeting, because I want to find out what you're looking for. I want to make sure we have the right data coming in so we can make the educated choices and decisions and reports in place for you. And when you have that, our second appointment, about a week to 10 days later, you're going to get a few things back from us. And there's not going to be a fee. It's all complimentary. Mm-hmm. You'll get your retirement guard, which is what we just talked about, going over your income plan, your retirement plan, your expense plan, and more importantly, how the future is going to look for us. Mm. We're also going to give you a customized Social Security report, because it's really important to choose the right times for Social Security and what works best for you and your family.
All right, George, I want to get into this because we talk about the power of family. And I want to talk about the difference of how men and women plan for retirement, because there's still a lot of couples that subscribe to that traditional model of husbands manage the finances and the investments while the wives take care of the child raising and the daily bill paying. Yet women, on average, and I'm sure you've seen this, they outlive men. So is it important for women to get involved with retirement planning sooner than later?
Oh, my goodness. Absolutely. I always invite people, and if the husband calls me for his retirement plan or the wife, I always recommend and strongly recommend that we come in as a couple, because most people retire as a unit, as a team. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to make sure we both know what our future looks like. Mm-hmm. You know, the average woman in a married couple is about 7 years longer living than her male counterpart. You have to know what's going on. I just can't emphasize that enough.
Do you see it a lot? Do you see it like where the husband comes in, or even the wife? Like I know in my family, my wife, she is just the opposite. Like she takes care of a lot of the finances. If she needs me to pay a bill, I'm like, what's the password again to log into our account? So do you find that a lot, that the couple will come in and one of them is just clueless?
I do. Absolutely. And we know which one is in charge of the finance because we all have jobs in the house, right, Mark?
Yep.
Some people, my wife, we were shopping and she'll give me a list to go to the grocery store to Acme or something. And I am a buffoon. I don't have a darn idea what I'm looking for. I'm on the phone with her every 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But we have our jobs. But this is truly a job that we need to work together. Because for women, I'm really concerned about ladies, especially with my mom and my background we had, about 70% of women will be either divorced, singled, or widowed at retirement. That's a huge number. And they have to be prepared because so many women are not prepared for retirement. But it's really important, I think, as a team that you plan for retirement. Now, obviously, some people don't want to look at it that way. We do have customers say, no, this is my retirement and this is all I need to worry about. And that's fine. But more and more women need to be active and need to be aware of the situation just to plan for the unplannable future.
You know, George, you sometimes have to play marriage therapist as well.
You'd be surprised. Yes. Or the looks that we see between people is shocking sometimes. Yes.
All right, let's separate for a minute. Let's get a cup of coffee. Let's run to the bathroom and start back over.
Oh, yes.
But the end goal is the same. You're going to ask the uncomfortable questions. You're going to force one member of the relationship to maybe sit down and go over files they don't want to. But again, this is all part of putting together a happy and a successful retirement plan. Right. 302-330-2166 to reach out to George and the team at the Betrayer Wealth Group. Okay, what about kids? Like, what if you're helping me put together a legacy plan or an estate plan? Do I need to bring the kids in with us?
No, we really don't. It's really just about you at this stage. We can make the plans and figure that in for our children.
Yeah.
Because it's just imperative that we have an agenda of where we want to go. Because everyone has a different idea about retirement and legacy planning. You know, the number of people that come in and they say, you know, with our last breath, I want to spend my last nickel.
Right.
And that's a great attitude. Other people come in and say, I want to live the very Spartan lifestyle where I don't want to spend any money. I want to leave all this money to my kids. And that's a great lifestyle. Whatever's right for you. I kind of think in between, in the middle. You know, I've worked very hard. So why should I not enjoy my retirement?
That's right.
Because you've worked. You deserve it. But let's plan for the kids. Let's leave that legacy for their children or grandchildren. In the Greek heritage, we celebrate death, it seems, all the time. We have the service, the funeral. We have a 40-day service, a 6 months, a 1 year, 5 year. It's like we remember them constantly. And that's not a bad thing. But I think for retirement plan, we want the kids to sit there and say, this is from my dad or my mom, or this flow we have set up is coming from grandma or grandpa or papu and yaya.
Wait, say that again. Of what and what?
Papu and yaya. That's Greek for grandfather and grandmother. I didn't know what a grandmother was growing up, Mark. It's amazing. Because I had yaya and papu. I didn't know anything else. And they said, my grandma. I'm like, who's your grandma? What's a grandma? We were very sheltered growing up.
Right.
So you can see why. Sorry.
Nothing wrong. Hey, look, we're getting an education on so many different levels this weekend here.
We're having a little Greek, a little this, a little that. Hey, how you doing?
To meet the team, jump online. You can meet the team at PetrayaWealth.com. That's Patria, PetrayaWealth.com, or give the team a call, 302-330-2166. You know, I'm sure something else that you're going to have a conversation with when you go over the portfolio x-ray is the Social Security benefits, because when we reach the age of 62, that's when the benefits kick in. But it does come at a cost. There was an article, George, in Motley Fool that looked at 3 different ages to claim Social Security. And I know you see the article as well. So tell me why each age can have a pro and a con to taking those benefits.
Well, what the article talks about is they say the 3 main ages to take Social Security are age 62, your full retirement age, and this illustration goes at age 65, and also at age 70, the delaying factor. Now, each one could possibly be the right answer, but each one could possibly be the wrong answer. Because most people don't understand, there's over 528 different ways to file for Social Security.
I'm sorry, say that again?
There are over 528 different ways to sign up for Social Security. Choose Social Security. Think about that. If you go on the SSA.gov, they will tell you can sign for Social Security in 15 minutes. Hey, folks, when you meet me, First off, if anyone has ever seen the show Friends on TV,
Okay.
I get told by a lot of people like Joey from Friends.
How you doing?
But the fat version. So, hey, how you doing? But what's right for everybody
is that insulting to you, or are you okay with that?
You know what? As long as you remember me for something. It could be, you could name something. I could be looking like Chandler or something. So what the heck? I'll take what I get.
Now, if somebody walks in and meets you for the first time and goes, yeah, he does kind of look like the fat Joe. Okay.
I hear that all the time. And when they call me a fat Joe, I was kind of offended at first, but I'm like, it could be worse. So.
Exactly. All right, I'm sorry. So we're talking Social Security benefits here.
And sometimes everything's a different plan for everybody. Everyone's doesn't fit the same scenario, same mold. You know, I wear a size 15, you might wear a size 10. Mm-hmm. What's right for me is not necessarily right for you. And we meet with people. Sometimes the best time to take Social Security is age 62. But other times, it's not. You know, I look at, as I said about my wife, Leslie, we have a retirement plan in place. Obviously. Mm-hmm. If I didn't, I'd be a hypocrite. Mm-hmm. But we have that plan in place. And with our Social Security planning, I am not turning on my Social Security to age 70. Because every year you wait past your full retirement age, and that depends on what year you were born, it increases by 8% per year. It maxes at age 70. So I am not turning on Social Security until I'm 70. Leslie is turning on Social Security probably about 64, 65 when she stops working. And the reason being is when you pass away, Mark, does you and your wife, whoever dies, do they get to keep both Social Securities when the other one dies?
No, you just get one.
Get one. So by choosing the right time to choose Social Security is a major factor in helping our spouse later on in life. Leslie's father passed away at 94, and my mother-in-law is still alive at 93, and she's doing great. Conversely, my father died unexpectedly at 62, and my mother stopped living at age 82. So the odds are that Leslie is going to outlive me by substantial years. Mm-hmm. So when my time is here to be called home, Leslie will get to choose which one of the Social Securities to take, and obviously she'll take the larger of the two. Mm-hmm. So by taking 70, I'm planning with our retirement plan how to increase her income when I'm gone. Now, 62, once again, may be the right time to take it, but if you take it early, do you think the government gives you anything for free, folks?
Nope.
No. They have a substantial penalty of about 30% off of your full retirement age. So it's the right time. You have to look and see what's going to work best for you and your family. And that's part of the plan we put together to make sure it works there and it makes sense.
And I think, George, that also goes back to our earlier conversation about the importance of both the husband and the wife being on the same page, not just with finances, but with that retirement plan as well.
Yes, absolutely. You have to know the rules of the game to be able to play the game the right way.
Mm-hmm. And that number is 302-330-2166 to reach out to George Politaris and the team at the Petraea Wealth Group to set up that complimentary portfolio x-ray. When you set up that initial consultation, George, we're going to throw in a copy of your book, Taking Care of Your Family. Tell me a little bit about it.
It's a book about how we do our business and what we do and what our customers can expect from us. The first chapter is a story about Angie and I, my sister who works for me, about the passing of our father and how we got involved in doing this business. Mm-hmm. The other chapters talk about the planning process, how we go through, what we do for our customers, how important it is to have the right plan in place. Not just retirement plan, but we need to know about income. Because while you're working, you get a paycheck every week, every other week, once a month, whatever the scenario is. But you have to know where that money comes in retirement. You have 401k, a TSP, a 403b, hopefully. You might have a pension, which unfortunately about 15 years ago, most people lost. Mm-hmm. But maybe you're one of the lucky ones that still has a pension. And you might have Social Security. But you have to know where the money's coming in retirement. So that's an income plan we put in there. The one chapter talks about that really hard topic, which is expense plans. Saying what we spend on things today. Because, you know, that thing you have in your wallet, that credit card, mm-hmm. that bank withdrawal every month, most of us don't know what we spend. So we give you an expense plan. It goes over the importance of how that works. Another, of course, is your tax plan. Right now, we're in a very low tax bracket. You know, taxes are advantageous to us. But there's some concerns about the future. We know that in 2025, taxes are going to change. They're going to go up. They have to go up. The tax plan takes that in effect and shows us where our taxes are so we can make choices today and plan properly for our future to be less tax adverse, be in a better place for that. Because we all realize that we have to pay taxes, right?
Right.
But I do not want to pay 1 cent more than I legally and morally have to pay.
Yes, sir.
And it's keeping my money in my pocket, not giving it to Uncle Sam.
Yep.
And then the fourth part is retirement plan. Where we're at, where we're going, how we're going to go, where our money is going to go, and really be able to do the things that you want to do and be so comfortable with.
The book is called Taking Care of Your Family, How to Properly Prepare for Retirement Without Taking Risk. And a complimentary copy is yours when you set up that initial consultation with the team from the Petraea Wealth Group, because George Politaris wants to sit down with you and personally look at your retirement portfolio. 302-330-2166. We have a representative standing by right now to talk to you and get you on the schedule to sit down with George. 302-330-2166 at no cost or no obligation to you.
Investment advisory services are offered only through properly registered representatives of Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, which is not affiliated with Petraea Wealth Group. Financial professionals are not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if George Politaris is licensed in your state, please contact his office. George A. Politaris is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Please consult with your attorney, accountant, and or tax advisor for advice concerning your particular circumstances. Annuity guarantees rely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Read your contract for restrictions, limitations, or penalties. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance products, including annuities, offered through George A. Politaris, NPN number 175000473.